And that shift transforms how life responds to them, and that creates a very, very different life experience. Right? Now, the work itself is done on basically three levels. The first one is understanding how the consciousness was wired, what's the individual structure of that particular consciousness at hand, and where are the bugs in that system, meaning where are the elements, the belief systems, the pain points that generate the pain and the lack of success or lack of satisfaction in the present moment. Because what we do is we bring pain from the past with belief system from the past, we apply them to the present, and now we generate new pain, which is what we're trying to eliminate. So, first understanding how it works, where are the bugs, then drilling into those bugs, meaning understanding where they're rooted, which painful events, which specific belief system. It's a little bit of a archaeology work. And once we find them, there's a healing process. You need to release the pain, patch the wound, make the pain dissipate. Essentially, when you open the wound, you kind of drain the pain out of the wound. And then once the healing starts to happen, you basically need to deal with the consequences of that pain, meaning the pain never operates our current moment or present moment on its own. It operates our present moment through the belief systems that are built over that pain. So I need to find those belief systems and change them. For instance, if somebody was experienced a betrayal in early childhood from a parent, that's very common in sexual abuse that happens within the family. So there's a betrayal. There's many things. So one of them is betrayal. So now they have, as adults, they have hard time creating intimate relationship because they know that instinctively they think that somebody that comes close and they develop very intimate relationship, eventually they believe they will betray them. So not only you need to release the pain of the old betrayal from childhood, you also need to change the belief system that the current moment is not going to end up in a betrayal. So it works on those three layers. And since most people don't have one wound, one trauma, they have multiple, at some point you're basically operating on all three layers simultaneously in different domains of life, different aspects of the personality. So that's kind of the process. And along which that the hero's journey principles play in, which means we work on opening the heart with all the meaning of that, with relaxing the closure. It's a relaxation. It's not an action. It's actually an opposite of an action. It's a relaxation. You can feel it in the body. You can feel it in the posture. You can feel it in many aspects. So all those things happen simultaneously, essentially, and they contribute to eventually a very different perception of reality and therefore a different way of showing up to reality and therefore generating a different life experience.
So you mentioned psycho spiritual. There's a lot, I'm sure, embedded within that concept. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So psyche in general, the word comes from Greek, and it became common usage in the beginning of the last century, especially in the context of psychoanalysis, when psychoanalysis showed up. Um, and the original term is essentially used to describe our perceptual apparatus. In other words, our cognition, our ability to predict events and anticipate events, our perception of what is going on. So that's what the psyche is. And I relate to it as our consciousness. Spirit, the word spirit, essentially relates to something that we have hard time to define, but in most philosophies, it's on the continuum between the individual and the one, God, the field, um, the one, whatever name you want to call it, but there is a continuum. And in that continuum, there are two components. There is a soul and there is a spirit. Now, they're intertwined because they're on the same continuum, but generally, soul is referred to as the individual part
Mhm.
on that continuum, me, my soul, and spirit is more the on the greater side, on the general side, on the oneness side, but it's one continuum. So psychospiritual means to me is the perception of the soul, the experience, how the soul experiences reality. And this is why I said the hero's journey is all about the soul's journey. So that level, it's not the physical body.